Good day, this is Mrs. Idowu, your facilitator for ACC213 Introduction to Finance. And today I briefly just want us to talk about the forms of organizations we have. That's our study section 2. Forms of business organizations. You can just quickly open to your study section 2. And these are the 4 main types of business organization we'll be looking at: the sole proprietorship, the partnership, the company, the cooperative organization. Now, what are we looking for when we are studying this? I'm looking for your understanding of the types, the forms of this business organization, the advantages and their disadvantages. And once you have the in-depth knowledge of these forms, you can easily advise. Questions can come in such a way that your friend wants to start a business and the person has this money and the person would like this or that. Advise the kind of business the person would like to start. It is your knowledge of these 4 forms of business organization that will allow you to advise him accordingly. So the sole proprietorship is a one-man business where you have only one person that is the MD, the CEO, the cleaner, everything of a business. And one of the advantages for it is that if there is a need to make a decision, easily he can make decision by himself without consulting anybody. And you can just look at some of the notes we have here in your page 22. The business is formed, is owned and managed and controlled by an individual, which is the key thing when you are trying to define it. You must specify that is only one person that is involved. And one of the features that we have of a sole proprietorship is that it's just an individual involved. You have risk bearing, there is minimal government regulation, is like registered company. Government regulation is minimal. There is unlimited liability. The person takes decision all by themselves. He enjoys the profit all by himself. He bears the risk all by himself. And the advantage is that it's very easy to form. You can just wake up one morning and decide that, I want to start a business. Unlike if you have to bring other people on board to have the business with you. And it's quicker to make decision. You have better control. You can make decision easily because you don't need to be seeking anybody's opinion. If something happens on the spot, you don't need to call annual general meeting and decide on that spot what you want to do. Of course, the same way it has advantages, it has disadvantages. If the person that owns the business dies today, that's the end of that business. Another thing is unlimited liability. Everything that is happening to the business in forms of the liability, it is only the owner of that sole business that will bear the brunt. Then I've talked about issue with the continuity. If something happens to the owner, there is a risk of the sole proprietorship business closing up. Then next on the line is partnership business. Partnership business. A partnership business has some laws that guide its regulation according to what we have in our study session 2. And it is just partnership. From the word partner, you have people coming together to start a partnership business. And it's not that anybody can have 5 million people. No, there is a limit to it. It's minimum of 2, a maximum of 50 people coming together to start a business. And in the partnership business, there is a need for, when you are having the business, to establish the laws, to determine how salary will be paid, if there will be interest, somebody is borrowing loan, how you pay the person, how the profit will be shared. So sometimes you might have a business where I'm just coming with the idea, you are the one coming with the money. We should sit down and decide how we'll share the profit when it comes in. But peradventure, something happens and we forget to do this. The partnership law says that if there is an absence of partnership agreement, the profit will be shared equally. There will be no interest or capital. No partner will get salary just because there is no agreed law guiding that partnership business. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? One of the advantages is that people come together. So the risk bearing, unlike that of the sole proprietorship, will be reduced. There is it's easy to formulate too. Of course, people can come together to pool resources. You have a larger capital in a partnership business, unlike the sole proprietorship where it's just one person. It's easy to, business idea. You get ideas from this person, you get creative ideas from this person, you can even merge it together. Unlike if it's just one person trying to decide on something. Then also the risk can be shared. But in a partnership business, the disadvantages is that when you have too many people involved, making decision might take a longer time, unlike if it's just one person. There is the risk of disharmony. There is the risk of somebody withdrawing. And also, I'm trying to look for something. Risk of implied authority. Yes. Implied authority. So those are some of the disadvantages you might have for a partnership business. Then the next one we have is the company. And this is under your study session 3, page 35. You have a company. The straightforward way to which you can even identify a company is one that is listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So it's neither one man, neither is it 2 to 50 people, but you can have a large number of people coming together for the sort of making profits. And that's how you have the likes of all the companies that we have listed on Nigerian Stock Exchange, all the banks listed there, the manufacturing companies, and so on and so forth. So the company does not just exist like that. There are laws that guide the affairs, the operation of a company. We have CAMA. CAMA is Company and Allied Matters Act that guides the operation of your business. And according to CAMA, we can have a private company or a public company. For a private company, whenever you see LTD Limited at the back, that's a private company. But if you see PLC, that's a public company. So what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? One of the advantages of a company is that you can have a large pool of capital or large pool of resources, unlike if it was a one-man business or partnership. Growth and expansion too is larger. It's easy for you to grow, it's easy for you to expand. Of course, for you to have growth and expansion in a business, you need money. And since a company gives you the opportunity to have access to a larger amount of money, expanding will be easy. Durability and stability is unlike a one-man business that if something happens to the owner, it affects the business. In a company, it's established in such a way that even if somebody dies, their shares is transferable. So you have it having a stability or being durable over a long period of time. So let's look at, of course, you have efficient management, you can employ the best hands to come and be the accountant, the best hand to be the one managing the company. Then we have disadvantages. The disadvantage is that you might have lengthy legal procedure. Decision making can be lengthy. Unlike if for sole trader that if something happens today, sole proprietorship can decide immediately what to do. For a company, you might need to be calling another general meeting, prolonging the thing. There is conflict of interest. Sometimes you might be having tribal fights. This one is not my brother, this one is for my tribe, and all that. Conflict of interest might arise. Excessive government regulations. A company that is listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange is being regulated by different government organizations, and these regulations sometimes make it too much for this company to cope with. It might be, there was a time that banks were existing and everybody can open a bank, but now there is a minimum balance that you must have for your bank to be listed. So those are some of the things that can arise as a disadvantage for a company. Then we have cooperative organization, sole proprietorship, partnership, company. These three, they are formulated mainly for profit making. But when it comes to cooperative, it's just formulated so that people can meet their welfare needs. They can, belong to an association. They can feel among, be together with people. The sole aim of having a cooperative is not to make profit. Cooperative forms of business is different because people voluntarily join. It's a voluntary association of people for mutual benefits so that they can use it to help themselves. And that's why maybe you have, your parents or you yourself, you are involved in a cooperative society, and when you need money to pay for something, you can just go there. It's not that you are saving so that you can have profit. The advantages now. Advantages is easy to form. Membership is also easy to join a cooperative society. Most times when you work in an organization, there is always a cooperative society there that you can join. There is stability. So even if you leave that organization, the cooperative society will still be there for other people that are coming in to join in. Disadvantages, their capital can be limited. You might have people at the ends of affair, unlike company that we can go and employ the best hands. For cooperative, you might have people that don't even know how to manage people, how to manage funds, be the one running, because most times we voting people. This is the person we want for president, this is the person we want for treasurer. We don't vote based on competence, so it might affect the management in that organization. Also, we can have factionality when people are saying that, like I explained the other time, this person is from my tribe, this person is from, rather than for people to vote based on competence, they are looking at, is my brother, is my friend, is my this, is my that. So those are the forms of business organization we'll be looking at for the purpose of this class. Like I explained earlier, know the different forms, know their advantages and their disadvantages, and you'll be able to answer questions. And I said earlier that a question could come, give you different scenario. Somebody would like to start a business that will keep existing forever, and the person has only 50,000 but is looking at to have 1.5 million capital base. When we put that kind of situation, you'll be able to recommend for such a person. The person cannot do sole proprietorship. The person might not even do partnership, but company looks more like it. But because you can get more people on hand that would contribute money, and also for the continuity part, a company will continue to exist whether the founder is dead or not. It will continue to exist irrespective of the founder. So if you know this, you'll be able to recommend. Or if somebody that doesn't want to feel alone, he just wants somewhere where if he needs money, they can help him. Or no, he's not looking to make profits. You would recommend a cooperative organization for such a fellow. So at this junction, we have come to the end of today's class. I'll see you in the next video.